Hello, I'm Sarah Gowler, and I'm the Associate Professor and Program Coordinator for Early Childhood Education at Kankakee Community College. Today we're going to talk about toilet training or potty training in young children. Potty training is a major milestone in the lives of children and their parents, but there's no shortcuts or ways around going through the proper method. We have to think about when a child is developmentally ready and also how we can support them through this process for yourself and for them. So let's start by thinking, when is a child ready to potty train? We have to think about their physical development. Young toddlers are not able to recognize when they have to go to the bathroom, but as they get older, typically around 18 to 24 months, we'll see that children are able to recognize when they pee or if they poop. Another major milestone in this process is that a child is uncomfortable in their diaper. When they use the diaper to go to the bathroom, they might come to you or pull on the diaper, or they might even take it off themselves, and you'll find your child running around with no diaper on. Potty training is also partly a social process. So children are going to want to watch you go to the bathroom as well as have you watch them go to the bathroom. So it's okay to let your child know what you're doing in the bathroom because it normalizes this process for them. They may even want to use a little potty while you're on the big potty. And so this is one way to know that your child's ready. We also have to think about if your child is physically able to maybe pull their pants up or down and be able to get to the bathroom and sit on the toilet. They might become interested in flushing the potty or even sitting on the toilet with their clothes on. This is the time that you'll want to maybe get them their own little potty or to get them a toilet seat that will go on the adult's toilet. And so you have to think about there are different things, and some children may be afraid of the large potty and they may need that little potty to go potty on. It can be loud and it can be scary, and especially in public with automatic toilets, that can be frightening for children. So as you see your child start to have longer periods of having their diaper or pull-up dry, you'll want to gather all of the supplies to potty train your child. You'll want to take the child with you and involve them in this process. For many children, it's very exciting to pick out new underwear with fun characters on them. Get your child excited about potty training by involving them in the shopping. You'll also want to pick out a potty seat and remember that there's tons of different ones on the market. We might have the ones that fit on the toilet or the ones that go on the floor. I recommend that you have both potentially because in the middle of potty training you may not know what your child prefers. It's also very handy to have the portable potty seat because you can take it with you in the car. So when you're ready to potty train at home and when you're ready to potty train your child, it's important to realize that children cannot do a fast-paced life. We'll want to focus the time and stay at home for a little while. It is much harder to train your child when you're going out and about in the grocery store or to the library or to different places. So we have to think about and set aside a time to potty train. Many parents find it successful if they schedule a weekend, if you have a long weekend at home, to potty train your child. There's different methods that you can go about potty training your child. And one I'll talk about first, sometimes people know it as the naked method or the commando method. So if you take a long weekend and you have your child at home, you'll want to think about what kind of clothing that they can wear that they can get up and down easily. For some children, the act of getting the clothes down to get to the potty is very hard. And so you'll see lots of parents do a commando method. So for girls, this may look like having them wear a dress with nothing under. For boys, maybe a longer t-shirt with nothing on the bottom. Having children kind of feel the air on their bottom does encourage them to use the bathroom. For some children, the false sense of underwear on them will make them think that they have a diaper on or a pull-up, and then they'll just kind of eliminate in that underwear. So having them commando, one of the other parts of this is you want to think about where in your house you could do this method. For many people, you're not going to want to have carpet on the floor. So you'll think about containing them to one room and also having the toilet close by. With this, you might want to buy them some juice or flavored water because we do want them to drink some liquids, so they have to go. So when the child is ready to go, it's important to celebrate. For young children, this might be a cheer or clapping or hooray. They may even want a stamp or a sticker, or maybe you have a jar of jelly beans. And so letting them have one of those rewards and that praise early on encourages them to want to do it over and over again. For older children who are in this process, maybe around 3 or 4 years old, you may want to use a reward chart where the children are earning up to a reward. One thing or one method that I picked up along the way was a potty punch card. So every time my child went to the bathroom successfully, we gave him a punch and his punch card. Once the punch card was filled up, we went to the dollar store and found him a reward. This is extremely helpful, especially when you're thinking about having a bowel movement on the toilet for older children. So, what happens when a child becomes afraid of the potty, or you might need to take a step back? It's okay. Children will go through this process and have some hiccups along the way. It's important to stay patient and keep it a positive experience. We want to praise all of the good things that happen. And when we have an accident or something happens where they go in their pants, we have to consider not to make that a punitive experience. We do not want to punish when a child has mistakes. We want them to understand that that's a natural part of the process and use appropriate terms and just give them and tell them what's going on. You had an accident, let's clean it up. Involve them in that process as well. Children can clean up pee spills. Usually what I try to think about is soap and water for the child to help you clean it up. Have them be a part of taking the wet clothes off. Talk about how the clothes are wet. Have them be a part of picking out the new clothes. This helps them to understand that when they have an accident, they're responsible for their own body and getting that taken care of. And then having them pick out the new clothes and then move into, we're going to do better next time and we can still achieve this. Sometimes if children get too much negative feedback during this process, they will be afraid and they'll want to stop the process. One other common issue that may happen during this process is a child may be afraid to poop in the potty. And this also is part of the developmental process. They control their own bodies and they control whether or not the poop is going to come out. It's part of their independence. So it's our job as parents to be patient with them, sometimes read stories to them, watch videos while sitting on the potty. And that's also where that punch card comes in play. Because children will want to earn up to the reward, they'll want to get those punches. So watch for signs that a child may have to go to the bathroom and make sure they're getting enough liquid in their diet as well as enough fiber. Sometimes parents may find that fiber gummies will help their child, but as always, talk to your doctor if your child's having one of those complications with having bowel movements. The other aspect when we think about toilet learning is learning about hygiene. We have to help children understand that there are germs in our bodily fluids. And so when your child's going to the bathroom, hand washing is also a major part of this process. So you'll want to make sure to teach them also about hygiene with hand washing. With hygiene and germs, we want to encourage children to let us know if they've had an accident because we don't want them to be able to sit on that. And so using those words and talking to children about how if they sit with poop on their bottom, that it's going to hurt, it's going to cause a rash, it's going to cause other various things that can happen. And so having these honest conversations with children and helping them to be aware of their body will give them more ownership of the process. So when you're ready to get started, we have to really think about ditching the diapers. Different places have shown that when a child is in pull-ups, it may actually extend your potty training process because ultimately those diapers and pull-ups do pull away the moisture from the child. Children in cloth diapers, for example, they do potty train faster because that moisture and the ick factor is closer to their body. So you have to think about when you're ready to proceed forward and to get rid of the diapers and the pull-ups. Many children find it successful to donate them to young children and give them away. Also, you have to consider when a child is still in this process that they may only be able to have one layer on the bottom. So if you've done the naked method and then you move into, okay, we need to put clothes on so we can go to the store, It may be helpful just to have your child in one layer on the bottom. If they feel those underwear tight against their body, sometimes that can back the process up. I know my children, they preferred to wear sweatpants during this time, and so it was one layer that was quick and easy to remove to go to the bathroom. One other aspect of potty training is that you may find that your child is able to be trained during the day, but not necessarily at night. There's many factors that go into this, such as their physical development, how hard they sleep, or if they just quite aren't ready for the nighttime training. This is when you may keep those pull-ups just for nighttime, and that's okay. Your child can be completely trained during the day and still need those pull-ups at night, and you'll see that as they wake up dry more often, that you'll be able to ditch those as well. And so please understand that we do not have to wait for nighttime training to do daytime training. And so that's a common misconception. Children can be completely dry during the day and just need that little support at night. So when you're ready, get all of your supplies. Think about the approach that you want to take with your child because you know your child the best. What kind of reward system you would like to do, or if you'd like to try a different punch card system. And then prepare yourself and set aside some time. Remember to be patient with your child and make this a positive process.